X2, X-Men United. So in X2, X-Men United, William Stryker leads an assault on Professor Xavier's school to build his own version of Xavier's mutant tracking computer Cerebro in order to destroy every mutant on Earth and to save the human race from them, forcing the X-Men to team up with the Brotherhood of Mutants, their former enemies, to stop Stryker and to save the mutant race. So X-Men 2, X-Men United is one of my, I'm going to say right here, it's one of my favorite superhero slash comic book movies of all time. I love this movie. But that doesn't mean that this movie doesn't have flaws, because there are a couple issues. There are some issues that I have, particularly with the plot and the villains. So yeah, one thing I want to say before I get into my review, I planned on reviewing all the X-Men movies leading up to the New Mutants, but then the pandemic happened, which shut everything down, and I had to cancel which I was sad, because I had to cancel my reviews of the X-Men. So the only X-Men movie I reviewed was the very first one that came out in 2000. So yeah, if you want to check out my review for it, you can look it up on my YouTube channel, so go ahead and with that. So yes, be warned, there will be spoilers from the movie, so yeah. So where do I want to begin? Oh, why not begin with the opening of the movie, which is Nightcrawler. The movie opens up with a bang, or should I say a bamf, because that's the sound Nightcrawler's teleportation makes, if you know anything from the comics. Anyway, it opens up with a bamf. Nightcrawler is teleporting. It was such an amazing action scene. Excuse me. It was such an amazing action scene. Like Nightcrawler teleporting, flipping all the security guards around in the White House. But one thing I didn't know, I didn't pick up like the last 100 times I've seen this movie, was that I didn't know Nightcrawler was brainwashed. I didn't pick that up. I've seen this movie like a bunch of times, but I didn't know that Nightcrawler was brainwashed in this movie. Nightcrawler was brainwashed to attack the President of the United States. I didn't know that, but he had this mark on the back of his neck, and I don't know why it didn't click with me. But yeah, he had like this cigarette burn mark on the back of his head. So in the first movie was all about Rogue. It was the introduction of Wolverine. But in my opinion, the main character of X-Men, like the first one, is Rogue. Like, she's such a very important character to the plot of the movie, because not only is she recruited and she's in the X-Men, but Magneto needs her powers, her powers to for his own plans. So she was a very important and main character in the first movie. But in this one, it's all about Wolverine. So the first movie left off with Wolverine. He's gone off trying to look for clues to his past, which he continues in this movie, but unfortunately he finds nothing, and he goes back to the mansion. And Bryan Singer, he, in my opinion, he is very good when it comes to drama and romance, because I really did like, I don't mind, but I do like, even though I don't mind, but the romance between Bobby and Rogue, which is very weird, because now that Marvel made Iceman gay, so it's but anyway, and now And now, you know what? We'll talk about that in. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna talk about that. I was gonna say something, but then I was like, nah. I'll save it for my review for X Men: The Last Stand. So yeah. So anyway, I do like the romance between, the romance between Rogue and Bobby. I liked it. It evolved from the first movie. Like the two of them, like in the first movie, they just met each other. They just get to know each other. But in this one, they formed a bond, which later turned into a romantic one. And also Jean Grey, her powers, like she starts develop. Her powers are getting a little hectic, um, and we all know where this is headed. And we all know this is headed, and of course, I'm gonna say right here, it's the Phoenix. Like this whole trilogy is setting up the Phoenix saga. Unfortunately, it's very unfortunate that Bryan Singer will never direct a Phoenix movie. Uh, but anyway, yeah. So the movie has opened up with a great action scene. Another great action scene is in the X Mansion. Was in the mansion, even though I love Wolverine. Wolverine, I love Wolverine. Everyone loves Wolverine. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Seeing him, just slaying and taking down all these military soldiers who are attacking the mansion and the students. But even though I love Wolverine, I did like seeing the other students, and seeing them use their powers to defend themselves and to protect the other students and to defeat the soldiers, especially Colossus. I love Colossus. I'm very pleased that we get to see more of him and a little bit of more of him in the future movies. But yeah, and that. But Colonel Stryker. So William Stryker is the key. William Stryker, he knows everything about Wolverine, about Logan, even though Logan doesn't remember his past. But he offers information. Stryker offers information. He knows, he has evidence, and he is the key to Logan's past, if you will. But I want to talk about Stryker. Beyond him, being the key to potentially unlocking Logan's past, he's not a great villain. He's not a great antagonist. He's not Magneto. Magneto is like my favorite, like Fox X-Men villain. Magneto is my favorite X-Men villain, and I'm pretty sure everyone else is. But he's no Magneto. He definitely isn't Magneto. But yeah, beyond that, he's not a great villain. I mean, he wants to, him with the plot, and the plot definitely, him as a villain is not very strong, is basically my point. And also, Lady Deathstrike is another one of my favorite X-Men villains. But in this one, she's just Stryker's brainwashed bodyguard. That's it. That's all her character is. She has no line. She doesn't talk. She's just there to kick Wolverine's ass. Yeah. And the ending of the movie where and then the end of the movie where Professor Xavier gets kidnapped, and is being controlled by Jason, and just pulling this trick on him, like trying to erase all mutants. Yeah, so even like I said, even though I feel like it's an improvement of the first movie, it definitely has flaws there. I do like Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is such a great character. Nightcrawler is a great character. I loved him in this movie. We get to see more of his comic book accurate, his origin. His origin, he's very Catholic, and um, I don't know. Maybe this version. I don't know. Maybe in this version, like this Fox, not the comics, but in this Fox universe, I guess Mystique and Nightcrawler are not mother and son. Um, so yeah, I mean, like they're both adults in this movie, so Wolverine is definitely, his character, him as a character, he's definitely evolved. Like I said in the beginning, the first movie was all about Rogue, and now it's all about Wolverine. And we get to learn more about him, even though, despite him not remembering his past. So yeah, and the movie ends. So yeah, and then fast forwarding the movie ends with Jean Grey sacrificing herself to save the other X-Men, trying to, her lifting the plane up, and her, like, using, unleashing her, she's starting to unleash her Phoenix powers. Like, her body and her eyes are starting to glow orange. Um, so, yeah. And I guess that's it. I guess that's it. Like I said, there are those, the X Mansion and like the beginning of the movie. Those are the two action scenes that really stuck up to me. Are like one of the two of my favorite action scenes in this movie. Um, the characters, the characters evolved, especially Wolverine. Um, but I don't know, like the plot of the movie just isn't that strong. I actually prefer the plot. Now I'm talking about the plot, not like the movie overall. I prefer the plot in the first movie over the plot here, because it's just not strong. And speaking of strong, the antagonists of the film aren't that strong. Stryker um, isn't a great villain. You know, but that's just me. That's just my opinion. So if you've seen X2, X-Men United, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your family. Thank you so much for taking your time to listening to my review, and I will see you soon.